I fool you? Welcome in, sim racing fans. That was not sim racing, that was Stone Colby taken to the track in the real life Mazda MX-5. Tonight, we bring you action live from Okayama. This is another one of my favorites. It's a gem of a road course, 2.3 miles of smooth, flowing, technical corners. It's got just enough elevation change to keep your drivers on your tippy toes. This full course layout rewards momentum and precision. It may not be the fastest track in the world, ladies and gentlemen, but with these low horsepower, high grip Mazda MX-5, it will deliver non-stop action here tonight on Stam Studio Network. Welcome in here. My name is Sean Stam. We're going to bring you some really nice racing here tonight from this 11-turn, 2.3-mile track. We got these drivers just now finishing up qualifying here. It's going to be a great one. Nathaniel Redmond, Stone Colby, Nico Colby taking to our front three runners at the moment. I have just gotten a text from one of the league owners here tonight. Please make a public apology for the announcement. Okay, well, that's coming in from one of the guys who was putting on the hosted race here. This was all supposed to happen just a few minutes earlier ago, but I told him, I said, hey, listen, man, this stuff happens. It's no biggie. We are still on schedule. Speaking of still on schedule, once again, a no public service apology announcement needed there. We're going to keep things moving clean, green, and for this 35-lap machine of a race from Okayama here tonight, optimal racing conditions. We're sitting at an altitude of 872 feet, 67 degrees Fahrenheit, excuse me. Couldn't ask for a better day for racing. Couldn't ask for a better day for qualifying either. Let's take a look at that starting grid. There you see it, Nathaniel Redmond. He's going to be joined with Stone Colby out there on that front row. Nico Colby, Joe Rainey, Marvin Samoya, Andrew Bound, Joey Rainey starting P7. Remember, Joey was coming off of that win just 1 week ago from Zandvoort. Also got Brandon Birch, Samuel Cruz, Slater Colby, Connor T. Cunningham, Richard Moyer rounding out that front 12 running drivers. Keeping things moving and grooving along down the list, Dominic Cicero. That is a newer driver here tonight, 1.5 seconds off of our pole running driver of Nathaniel Redmond. He'll start it out there in that 13th spot. Darren Colby, Victor Ling, Timothy Thorin, John Melenkopf, Andrew Hurley, Warren Johnson, Michael Hutchinson, Rob Sweetser, Kyle Klein, Victor Harris, rounding out our 23, count them, 23 driver field here tonight. Perfect timing on my end. Here we go. We're going to have these drivers start to roll off the little short pace lap that we do have here tonight. Welcome in here once again. I appreciate every single one of you joining in here tonight on Stam Studio Network. Once again, my name is Sean Stam. We're about to get things moving and grooving for some race battling up here. Might I add, we do have a competition caution at a moment in this race. There we saw already. Looks like Rob Sweetster already going around. Trying to get these tires up to optimal pressures and optimal conditions here early on. There you see the weaving, the jeeving, and jiving. Looks like Rob Sweetster just a little bit too aggressive earlier on, trying to get things warmed up, but it looks like he is able to rejoin the pack. Here we go. Once again, this is what we have waited a whole week for. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just a few moments away from green flag racing in the Apex Motor Club Sim Racing Series. Nathaniel Redmond, Stone Colby, Nico Colby are all going to be drivers to watch up here on this starting grid. Don't count out Mr. Joe Rainey, Marvin Samoya, Andrew Bound at that top 6 running grid. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We waited a whole week for it. Right now, Nathaniel Redmond, Stone Colby, Okayama's field is in your hands. 35 minutes of tight, technical, a little bit of elevation-hungry track is in the air here tonight. Green flag is out and away we go. Already starting to accordion back here a little bit further back in the pack. We're going to start to look 4 wide into turn 1. This can't be good. We'll settle it back down there to 3. Dominic Cicero's right up in it. Darren Colby. How about Samuel Cruz? He's right up in this battle as well. Still 3 wide. Now we're finally getting it back to 2. What a start, a clean start so far. There's a little gravel rooster tailing. That's no big deal. Side by side here for Richard Moyer, Slater Colby for that 8th running spot. What a start for this running. Oh no, there's some contact. Are we keeping things moving and grooving? It looks like it. No damage here tonight. Number 11, Connor T. Cunningham's going to be put 3 wide. Starting to settle it back down, at least for the front running spots for the moment. Here's Timothy Thurin, Connor T. Cunningham, Andrew Hurley. These drivers are all starting to get a little bit of nitty, a little gritty. There's the Bucky's machine. We also got Victor Ling now spun around. I was waiting for that one. That was, I believe, turn number 4 there after a long straightaway here from Okayama. These MX-5s start to carry so much speed, so much slipstream, so much draft. There's just a little bit too much to work with there. How about this move down the inside for Joe Rainey? Joe Rainey's looking for a 2-for-1. No, he's trying to get by Stone Colby. It's going to switch back down around the outside lane this time by Andrew Bound, already able to work up to P3, gaining 3 spots since the start of the race. Stone Colby trying to work at P4 and P5 right now as he's trying to look down the inside line through turn number 11. Joe Rainey, Stone Colby. Joe Rainey turns Stone Colby on the start-finish stretch. Oh, Stone Colby with even more contact. He's going to end up spinning Dominic Cicero around. There we got the big one here on lap 2. Michael Hutchinson involved. Victor Ling also involved once again. We got these drivers all now making their way through it here. Stone Colby, not the start he wanted, but we do have that caution here in just a few moments' time. Back up to the battle for the race lead or lack of it. 1 second gap separating Nico Colby, Nathaniel Redmond. Nico Colby already able to find 1 spot gain since the drop of the green flag. Know if everything sounds and looks a-okay down there below as we're going to hop on board with Nico Colby. Of course, we got the live driver cams here tonight. Slater Colby, he's going to sit P4, who we are now on board with. Stone Colby, hey, he's all smiles right now. Head down literally right now for Stone Colby as he drops all the way to P17, minus 15 spots since the drop of the green flag. Connor T. Cunningham, another driver who has made it out to the driver cam universe with us here tonight. Connor, he had a little bit of contact earlier on in that John Pork Mazda MX-5 number 11. He's starting to work his way back up to the field here as he's working his way also through the gravel accumulated on the racetrack. That gravel looked like snow. It feels like snow with as less grip as you do have. Looks like Connor T. Cunningham has got the grip at least to fight for that 15th spot. Back up to another really nice battle here starting to accumulate. It's going to be between, oh no, Rob Sweetster. He's going to have the Sean and what are we doing, Rob? He just reversed it Mach 2 there into Stone Colby. We're going to have to see this driver reaction. Stone, he's still just all he is what is going on right here. Stone is now contact with one of the league owners, Warren Johnson, now coming out of turn number 11. He's, what are we doing? I think Stone just says. There we see the cool comment collected. Connor T. Cunningham, Slater Colby. He is head down as he rears his way back up to P4 right here. Kyle Klein down into the pit lane at the moment. Here's Joey Rainey. He's leading this battle of 7th, 8th, and 9th. That's Timothy Thurin and Samuel Cruz right there as well. Joey Rainey, remember, he came off of that win just 1 week ago. Right there behind him was Nathaniel Redmond. He finished P2 there from Zandvoort. Nathaniel Redmond, hey, it looks like right now if we didn't have a competition caution at classified minute of this race, looks like Nathaniel Redmond could be the driver to beat here tonight. Right now he already is. Nico Colby, Andrew Bound. Nico Colby, he's got that gap right about consistent with that 3/10 mark. Alrighty, I now finally have a little moment to check the live YouTube chat here. We got 23 viewers live right now. Let me know who is watching. We got Melina Colby in here. Jordan Dobke, welcome in once again. Moonlight Dancer every night. We got you in here with us. Terry, if you're still hanging out around, we are experiencing some really great racing all down and through the pack here. Here's another really nice battle. Brandon Birch, Victor Ling, Stone Colby's right there with them. Looks like Warren Johnson probably gave a little bit of a point by to Stone Colby. Here's some side-by-side. We're not quite going to trade paint yet between Michael Hutchinson and Victor Ling, but we will get damn near close to it. Hopping on board here with that Michael Hutchinson, and right now he is the meat in the sandwich. He's got Victor Ling up out there in front, hopping on the rear view camera here. He's gonna have to play a little bit of defensive line going into that tight turn one. Here we go, Michael Hutchinson. He's gonna try that outside line, matter of fact this time. I don't know if you wanna give that to Stone Colby. Here we go, side by side. Keep in mind, this is the battle for the 15th spot. As we got a spin, it's going to be Victor Harris. He's able to get it back going once again. Here we go, battle for the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, all under a blanket right now. Almost contact there between Michael Hutchinson, Stone Colby. Victor Harris is right there with them. How about Victor Ling? He's also hanging in this battle for the top 17. We'll have to start to see where this all transpires out to as battle for P2. We caught the end of it here. Andrew Bound able to find his way. No contact needed for Nico Colby. Andrew now up 4 positions gained since the drop of the race start flag. Nico Colby, he's looking like a Formula Drift driver out there. That thing got yawed sideways more than I have ever seen a Mazda MX-5. Nico Colby burning up the rears trying to hang on to Andrew Bound. But keep in mind, this is only the battle for the P2 position. Marvin Samoya, Joe Rainey, and Joey Rainey, 5th, 6th, and 7th, starting to heat up here as well. Down that a little short shoot of a start-finish straight, then we got about 3-4 turns to work with till that longer back straightaway. We do have that slipstream to work with here. If you are just within about, I'd call it 8, 9 tenths of a second there in the driver in front. Look at that's Joe Rainey's Rainey Homes Racing Bumblebee machine. You could cook some steaks on that left front brake rotor. That thing was glowing. As a matter of fact, I think that's the highest amount of brake glow that we've seen here tonight, and management is the name of the game with these Mazda MX-5s. There we see Joey Rainey, his front brake rotor's aglow as well as he tries to reel in Papa Rainey. 2 Rainey Homes Racing MX-5s going at it right here. I was just starting to mention it though, management's going to be the name of the game here tonight. Save a little bit of tire, save a little bit of brake wear, and you could possibly be finding yourself into this battle for possibly even the top 3 finishing spots, which results in that top 3 of driver interview spots here. There was some side-by-side between Slater Colby, Marvin Samoya, door quarter clear, switchback for Marvin Samoya. He'll work his way back up to P4. He's gonna bring Slater Colby with him as these 2 drivers start to battle here just a little bit further and harder. They're going to bring Joseph Rainey right into this battle as well. Alrighty, I know we're only 8.5 minutes into this thing, but all the fans here tonight are all what makes this possible. Go ahead, enjoy the sights and sounds of Mazda MX-5 Racing, taking it to Okayama. My name's Sean Stam here on Stam Studio Network. I'll be right back up with you here in the booth. slowly crank this puppy back up here because we got some more side-by-side battling action happening here. There's a little bit of a trade the paint. Warren Johnson, he's going to go Mach 2 into the wall. He's going to bring Richard Moore right there with him. Although I do say he's going to bring him with him, I don't know if I would put that on the driver of the 24 here tonight, so we'll take a replay of it here. This was side by side. Ah, there's that contact there, and then just, well, I think Richard actually caught that the rear end of that incident there. That was door quarter, not quite clear with with Warren Johnson, as well as I believe that was John Mellenkopf, that the navy blue Mazda MX-5 machine. But remember, with no damage here tonight, we'll keep things moving and grooving. While we have a few moments time, we'll take a look at a quick, well, actually two quick other replays. Here's Andrew Hurley's incident earlier on in the race. This is the same corner that we just saw Warren Johnson get involved in. There you saw a big save out of Andrew. What happens here? Looks like it's going to be a self-induced spin. Tries to carry a little bit too much speed and doesn't make any contact with anything, but it's going to lose a little bit of time. Hey, matter of fact, here comes Warren Johnson. Darren Colby had a little bit of an incident also in the race. Same corner it looks like here once again. Darren Colby's going to run a little wide. Hang on to her, Darren. Number 47, cat-like reflexes here tonight for this Colby. Was able to save it, not lose too much time. Last incident we'll take a look at before we get back to live racing action. This is going to be Andrew Bound. This is when this driver was, well, he's been top 3 all this race. Same corner that we just saw. I believe that was Hurley involved in. Andrew tried to carry a little bit too much speed. You don't have the rear wing like we do on these on the Toyota GR86s. You're not able to carry as much speed here. So looks like Andrew Bound, he will go for a little bit of a slip and slide, but go for a play in that beach sand, but he's able to keep it and back up to P3 for the moment. Nico Colby, Andrew Bound, Marvin Samoya, Joey Rainey, Samuel Cruz, Slater Colby, Timothy Thorne, Kyle Klein, rounding out our top 10 for the moment. Alrighty, we do see that 4-second gap out there between our race leader and Nico Colby. We'll have to see where this starts to accumulate too, as we got a newer driver within the Apex Motor Club Sim Racing League. But there you can see in the driver profile pic, he is a real-life racer, Apex Motor Club. Oh, he's going to get the Sean and Tater curse. No, Dominic, no. Bucky's number 25 going around hard and heavy. Hate that for Dominic. He showed some pretty nice pace here tonight. Let's hop on board the Busey's machine. And yes, I did. If you know, you know there. We're going to have to back this puppy up as Dominic tries to find his way into the famous North American truck stop here. Bucky's on that rear quarter panel, just tries to carry a little too much speed. He tries to hang on to it here. Here comes the VehicleBuyers.com machine out and around that. Dominic Cicero will go. No contact at least with that was Stone Colby right there running with him. Oh no, that's the 34, Kyle Klein around this time. We're not even halfway in this race here, boys and girls, and we already have too many incidents to count. I wonder what the incident limit count is here tonight. We saw this play a factor within the West Coast Sim Racing League. Hopping on back on board with Kyle Klein here. This is going to be interesting to see because remember, Nico Colby, he should have had that top 3 finish just a couple of nights ago. Had a drive-through penalty for too many incidents on the last lap of the race. We'll have to see where this all gets down and transpires to. Here comes another nice battle here. It's going to be Joey Rainey having to play some Super Bowl-esque defense over a hard-charging Fendi Racing Samuel Cruz. Here comes that number 19 Mazda MX-5. These drivers are going to look side by side, giving them all the room. They're heading down our back straightaway. This is where these drivers are able to stretch their legs here at this moment in the track. Here we go. Looks like Samuel Cruz going to concede the spot to Joey, but he's going to continue to fight. Brake rotors aglow for these Mazda MX-5s. Oh, surprise yellow. There it is. You might be wondering, where is it? Where is it? There it is. Race fans are excited about it. You fans are excited about it. Get a chance to take a real quick drink and snack break as we're going to get these drivers. No waiver rounds needed. Everybody still on the lead lap. We're just going to get these drivers, rack them and stack them, if you will. Nathaniel Redmond, Nico Colby, Andrew Bound, our front three runners leading us in the driver interview spots, those only driver interview spots. Marvin Samoya, Joe Rainey, Joseph Rainey, Samuel Cruz, Slater Colby, Timothy Thorin, Brandon Birch running at that top 10. Victor Harris, Connor T. Cunningham, Stone Colby. He is already, remember Stone Colby, he spun all the way back to P, I believe that was 19 earlier on in the race. Stone already back up to 13th. Michael Hutchinson, Kyle Klein, Dominic Cicero, Darren Colby, Victor Ling, John Mellencamp, Andrew Jace Hurley, Richard Moyer, Rob Sweetster, and Warren Johnson rounding out our 23 driver field here tonight. Welcome in, everybody. Once again, Stam Studio Network, and if you're just now joining us, take a look at this real-life Mazda MX-5 footage here. This is from one of our racers out here on track. Lots of the racers here in the Apex Motor Club Sim Racing League. Matter of fact, they race it out there, real life in Arizona. But take a look at this real quick video. This is too cool. From Stone Colby, the man himself. Goodness great. Did you see the save there out of the chicane? That's another Colby with some cat-like reflexes, not only within the sim, but as well as that real world. Nathaniel Redmond, Nico Colby, we're going to have to keep an eye on here because Nathaniel Redmond, he has led the most amount of laps tonight, if not every single lap here tonight. While we have a moment, we'll take a look at the original race restart and see what we'll have to keep in mind for the race restart here. It will only be single file on this race restart. But take a look at this 3-4. We pushed 4 even possibly just up for a moment. Some 5 wide action here. Take a look at this here into turn 1. 23 drivers all in one camera shot here. Somehow able to settle it down. We made it through the first couple of corners. Okay, there's that 3 and 4 wide action here. Some VehicleBuyers.com machines scattered out there within it. There's some 3 wide. Darren Colby looking middle. So is Samuel Cruz looking middle. Okayama just wide enough. It's all able to work. We'll keep things moving and grooving until, once again, it was just about here when the snowball effect started. We'll hop on board here with John Mellencamp, see what this driver saw. So John was actually involved there with a little bit of a slice and dice down that left side quarter panel. He kept it moving and grooving. Here we go as we're going to continue through lap 1 here. Really no incidents up and through until that long back straightaway is going to come into that tight right hairpin. Still on board here with John Mellencamp. He's got that driver of the, didn't quite catch the number there, but USA colored. Here's when all the incidents happen. Snowball effects there. There's Kyle Klein to his left side. Warren Johnson up there in front. Here's going to be some more contact. It's going to send at least 1, 2, 3 of these drivers around. There you see even more. Oh, and then that was John Mellencamp real quick before we get back to some green flag racing here. This is what I wanted to hop on board with here because look at John. He just having nowhere to go here. Boom! He's going to have a Mazda imprint on his forehead when he wakes up there in the morning. We got lights still on the iRacing safety pace car, flashing the graphics time and scoring up, making sure everybody is caught up. We're going to get this race shortened, this pace lap shortened to just 1 lap to go. Look at that. The drivers are going to start to there you see them. They're going to fan out here. They're like, oh snap. We're actually going to go green here. I'm showing double file. I was not expecting this, boys and girls. Get up, stand up for your life right now. Don't give up the fight. Matter of fact, if that's what we're going to play, all of these drivers, they have mental wounds still healing. Driving each one of these drivers insane. Who are we about to see go off the rails on a crazy train? Shout out the man, the myth, the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. Left us here just a couple of days ago, but gone, but not forgotten. Oh boy, I'm gonna leave the last couple of this pace lap here. Go ahead and enjoy the pace lap, crank it up here. This is a moment of silence for the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osbourne. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Once again, we're going to get a race restart on our hands. It's going to be Nathaniel Redmond, Nico Colby, Andrew Bound, Marvin Samoya, Joey Rainey up in that front three running rows, side by side. Nathaniel Redmond's going to take off. Here we go from Okayama once again. All of these drivers are about to go off the rails on the crazy train. Here we go, heading into turn one. Joey Rainey, Joseph Rainey, we're looking at here. We're going to look side by side there for P2 and 3. Andrew Bound, Nico Colby is going to start to heat up this battle for P2 as Nathaniel Redmond, he's going to continue to run away with the race lead, already pulling a 7/10 of a second gap. Here's some side by side. That's going to be Brandon Birch with a nice save. He gets that out in the front of Samuel Cruz and Timothy Thorin. Dominic Cicero, looks like Connor T. Cunningham. They are in the hornet's nest on this race restart. So far, things are clean green machine here on this race restart. We got Connor T. Cunningham. Here comes Michael Hutchinson, Kyle Klein, Darren Colby right within this battle as well. There's that Bucky's machine. He's got the 22, Michael Hutchinson, giving a little bit of a bump there into turn number 5 down that long back straightaway. Here we go. Battles for the race lead. Starting to heat up as we're going to have a contact there. That's going to be none other than, it looks like Connor T. Cunningham gone around in the John Pork machine. Also, Victor Harris spun around in the 054 Trevor Racing. A Mazda MX-5. Here we go, back up once again to the race lead. It's a 8/10, it's pushing 9/10 of a second gap right now is Andrew Bound, Nico Colby. We're starting to go at it for that battle for P2 on that race restart. Nico Colby's gonna fall back to P3. Here comes Marvin Samoya, he gains a spot, he's gonna jump up to P4. Joey Rainey, Joseph Rainey still continuing, Joe Rainey, Joseph Rainey is still continuing to battle for the P5 spot. Into turn 1 once again. This is a really nice passing zone with just 12 minutes to go left in the race. Let me know who you have here. Who is going to end up taking this race win away? Is Nathaniel Redmond. He's working that 1 second gap now. Back to this battle that continues to broil after this race restart. Darren Colby back to where he started this race. We got gravel flying out the rear end of Victor Ling once more. Victor already down, out, and around once in this race. He's going to try and fight for this P16 spot here. Andrew Hurley as well as John Mellencamp continuing to heat up. There's possibly a little bit of contact. Robert Sweetster has to take the outside line here. He's going to have that hard charge with Timothy Thorin. Warren Johnson has his popcorn bucket out for the battle for P19. We're going to start to look side by side. John Mellencamp, it's going to look like Andrew is going to go around in the number 15. No John, no, that's John Mellenkopf also involved, number 15, down, out, and around. Back to the battle for the race lead once again. It's starting to heat up once again. What was 9/10 pushing a whole second is now back just down to half of a second between Nathaniel Redmond and Andrew Bound. Remember what I mentioned earlier on in the race. It is all about tire and brake management. You got to manage these Mazda MX-5s here as we're going to look 3 wide. Throw that out the window. Door quarter clear for Nico Colby as Nico Colby's tires are falling off here. Still side by side, 2 rows back. Brandon Birch, Marvin Samoya, Slater Colby also all in. We're going to try to in single file this puppy back out down our start finish straightaway, heading into turns 1 and 2. Looks like Slater Colby, Stone Colby, they're trying to make some teamwork, make the dream work action here as Joe Rainey starts to pull away just a little bit more. 3 wide once again. Samuel Cruz has that outside line. Then we're going to see Stone Colby. Brandon Birch runs a little bit wide once again. Here we go, coming to the nitty gritty. 9 minutes to go left in this race. 7/10 of a second separating our race leaders. Nico Colby, Marvin Samoya. The battle for 4th and 5th continuing to heat up as well. Good grief. I don't know how these drivers are doing this here tonight. Looking on the back bumper of Marvin Samoya, he's got that big sniffer of Joe Rainey. Goodness gracious. I got too many Colbys, too many Rainies to deal with. What is next? Well, Joe Rainey, he's going to give a little bit of contact there to Marvin Samoya going into that tight hairpin after our long back straightaway here tonight. Hopping on board with Marvin Samoya as he's got his hands full. Rear end tires just about lifted off the racetrack with that last bump from Joe Rainey. Here we go, back down towards the more technical portion of the track. This time it's going to be through 9, 10, and 11. Final turns up the track, coming just to 7 minutes to go left in this race. Oh, there's a spin there in the back of the pack once again. Timothy Thorin, I don't know how he can see the Boosie's machine also going around as well. Dominic Cicero trying to get it back, find the reverse. He finds neutral, back and finds first gear once again. Keeps it off the racing line. There goes Kyle Klein around. You gotta hate it for that Bucky's machine, number 25. He had some real nice pace earlier on, but continues to be the punching bag here tonight. Side by side, we're going to continue some 3 wide action. We'll settle it back down to 2. Not quite trading paint just yet. 2 vehicle buyers, .com machines starting to go at it here as Gravel is rooster tailing out of Marvin Samoya for that 5th spot. Slater Colby, Stone Colby, Brandon Birch. This is a battle between friends and foes out here on the racetrack. Brake rotors aglow for that number 14 and 52. Here we go down that long back straightaway once again. Who has it deeper into the braking zone? Real quick, not missing anything up out front. 7/10 of a second separating Nathaniel Redmond and Andrew Bound. Joey Rainey, how about it? Real life champion at the Apex Motor Club GT4 car. He's going to bring his Mazda MX-5 to the final driver interview spots here for the time being. Nico Colby, he's had to give it up, but he is not done fighting Marvin Samoya. Joe Rainey, Slater Colby, Stone Colby, Brandon Birch. We got still have Samuel Cruz fighting for that final 10th spot. Good gracious, we got so many battles on track right now. Which one do we watch? Right now we're going to watch Timothy Thorin as well as Richard Moyer continue to go at it. Timothy's looking like the meat in the sandwich here as here comes that Trevor Racing, Victor Harris, Rainbow Machine Mazda MX-5. Victor's also up 7 spots gained since that drop of the green flag as we're going to crest through turn number 12. 6 minutes to go left in this race here, boys and girls. Nathaniel Redmond, he's keeping his gaps up steady for the race lead, but these gaps right now, they're continuing to shrink for 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. How about Warren Johnson? He's also in a battle himself. Got Connor T. Cunningham breathing on his rear bumper heading into turn 1. Connor T. Cunningham, bottom driver cam. Stone Colby, he's still smiling as he is battling it out there with Slater Colby for that 7th and 8th spot. Speaking of battle it out, here we go. Warren Johnson down and around that inside. Look at the room, the race craft left between these 2 drivers. Warren, as a matter of fact, left a little bit too much room, not not able to get that throttle down. He's going to drop back to P19 where he started this race. Back up to the paddle for the P3 spot, the final driver interview spots. Here we go, Marvin Samoya. Where did he come from? Where did he go? You could call him Cotton Eye Joe, but he's going to run a little bit wide there out of that tight hairpin down that back straightaway. 5 minutes left to go in the race. Marvin Samoya, Nico Colby, Joey Rainey. He's going to bring his dad, Joe Rainey, right there with him. 2 Rainey Holmes Racing running nose to tail right now, 5th and 6th. Nathaniel Redmond has continued to grow that gap. It's now looking as a 1.2 gap. These drivers, it's going to get tight here as we continue to crest. Probably about 3 to 4 laps to go. Some more side by side, some contact there between Joe Rainey and I believe that was Stone Colby that time by. Stone Colby is trying to hang on here for this battle for the P7 spot. He's dropped 5 positions since the drop of the green flag. He's got Slater Colby, brother, right there behind him. Teamwork, trying to make the dream work happen here into turns number 1 and 2. Joey Rainey that's Joe Rainey on the back bumper of Marvin Samoya. Also Nico Colby, Nico Colby was on the back bumper of Marvin Samoya. We saw that shove there heading into turns 1 and 2. The slipstream, the draft is something definitely that you can work with in these light Mazda MX-5s. Goodness, I don't think you want to be leading this pack coming to the green flag. I think you want to be at least 2nd or 3rd in a pack. Nathaniel Redmond still got a 2nd gap over Andrew Bound. Andrew Bound's got a 5-second gap as we continue to battle. It's all out here for tonight. The final driver interview spots. 3.5 minutes to go this time by. Look at the bump drafting here between Marvin Samoya, Nico Colby. Nico gets a little bit deeper on the brakes. He's going to try that outside line. Nope, psych, says Nico Colby. Switch back, no, doesn't even try to get that down. Here comes Joey Rainey right behind Nico Colby. Joey Rainey is right there with them. Here comes Father Joe Rainey. 17, 13, and number 9. This is the battle for the 4th, 5th, and 6th spot. There we see a VehicleBuyers.com machine. That's going to be Brandon Birch going Mach and a half into the wall. Unfortunately for Brandon Birch, he was within striking distance of this final battle for the final driver interview spots. After a quick spin there, he's no longer going to be in it here. We'll take a quick replay of it here. Brandon Birch, it's unfortunate for him because he was, once again, another driver that showed some really nice pace here tonight. Oh, a self-induced spin there for the 36. That's how hard these drivers are pushing. 32.5 minutes out of 35. We should be getting our white flag in 2 to 3 laps time. Here we go. The battles are continuing to heat up between this front running 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. That's count them 5 different drivers here within the same camera shots. We're starting to single file it out now, but you're going to get your runs. You got to get that momentum battle, and you got to get the momentum running earlier on within the lap so you have it to work with down that back straightaway. Look at these brake rotors. Joe Rainey's going to go around, taking Stone Colby with him. Stone Colby's just... he is just laughing at this point. Not his race at all here tonight. That's probably 2, 3, 4 different incidents. Throwing the hands up in the air for Stone Colby with no care. Oh man, you hate it for Stone. Here we go. Well, Stone, I hate it for you, buddy. We're going to get back into this battle for, once again, that final driver interview spot. Look at the gravel. It looks like smoke. It looks like snow on the racetrack. It feels like snow on the racetrack with as little grip as it provides. Here we go. We should be coming to the final minutes and a minute 15 seconds in this race. Nico Colby, he's right within Marvin Samoya's back bumper for that final driver interview spot. Joey Rainey, Slater Colby finally up here back and battling once again, although Slater is 1.2 seconds back from the top 5 spot. Hopping on board with Joey Rainey here, out through turn at number 12. Will we see this driver make the slipstream, make the teamwork here? Nope, doesn't look like it. White flag is out here tonight from Okayama. Joey Rainey's going to try that inside line here between Nico Colby. Not quite clear. Nico Colby's going to dive it way down the outside. Here we go, still side by side. Now Joey's clear for that 13th spot as he's going to try to reel in Marvin Samoya. Marvin, you got to give this driver credit. After starting 5th position, he continues to put fast lap times down. Marvin Samoya, he knows how it's done within these Mazda MX-5 Cup cars, as he is in, once again, that final driver interview spot. Samuel Cruz, another VehicleBuyers.com machine. Excuse me, that's Samuel Cruz in the Fendi Racing machine is trying to reel in Slater Colby, the real life Mazda MX-5 paint job there. It's just missing the Stam Studio Network bumper sticker on the rear, but we're going to continue to get a little jivey on this white flag lap. Do we see a move here between both of these packs? Slater Colby, Samuel Cruz are starting to go at it side by side. Here comes Samuel Cruz. Contact between the two. Fendi Racing driver up to P6. Nathaniel Redmond, he is working that 2.7 second gap. He is just a couple turns away from making it all official here tonight. Back to the battle we were just looking at. Here we go. That's going to be a crossover move for Slater Colby. Real life vinyl wrap there. Going to work there for Slater Colby. That VehicleBuyers.com number 14 machine got down and around there for the P6 spot. It's going to be Nathaniel Redmond. Mama, he's coming home. Congratulations, Nathaniel Redmond. Going off the rails on that crazy train. You're going to take that checkered flag here tonight. Andrew Bound, another driver whose mental wounds still not healing. He'll take away P2 tonight. Joseph Rainey's gonna take away P3 as he piles it out here. Marvin Samoya is gonna lose out on the final driver interview spot. We got an earthquake happening here into turn number 1. No, we got some deaths, I think, also occurring. Brandon Birch is going to bring it home P8. Oh, goodness. Oh no, we're still hopping on board here. Let's hop on board with, is anybody still making their way? Oh yeah, here we go. Hopping on board with Andrew. Andrew, he sees the dust bowl happening up here up front. Does Andrew hurl it in there at Mach 2? He does! Oh, hang on to her, boys and girls. Oh, good God. Oh boy, well congratulations. Every single oh, get ready for this one. Oh boy, congratulations every single driver here tonight. Every one of you for joining in here on Stam Studio Network. Before we get to some driver interviews, look at you. There's all the fans down there live in YouTube land. Moonlight Dancer, Terry Stam, Malena Colby, every single one of you. 25 viewers up here that just witnessed. Golly, we're gonna have to take some replays after some driver interviews. But speaking of driver interviews, if you got yourself a copy, make sure you mosey your way down on over to the interview room. What a race, what a time that we had here tonight on Stam Studio Network. Gonna get the official, well, I guess you'd call them unofficial race results before we take any penalties here after the race. Goodness gracious, the Apex Motor Club Sim Racing League. Tonight, Mama, Nathaniel's coming home. Nathaniel Redmond coming away with the race win here tonight. Andrew Bound, Joey Rainey rounding out those final driver interview spots. Marvin Samoya, Nico Colby, Slater Colby, Samuel Cruz, Brandon Birch, Joe Rainey. That is father of Joseph Rainey. Michael Edgerton, Timothy Thorne, Victor Harris, Richard Moyer, Kyle Klein, Connor T. Cunningham, Victor Ling, Warren Johnson, Dominic Cicero, John Mellenkopf, Andrew Hurley, rounding out that top 20. Out of the 23 drivers we have here tonight, Darren Colby, Rob Sweetster, Stone Colby. Oh no, Stone, no. That's not the best run here throughout the season for Stone. He'll bring it home 23rd, but he was having the time of his life here tonight. It was fun to watch him in the driver interview cams, or excuse me, live driver cams. Let's see if we got the interviews. Here we go. Nathaniel Redmond, Mama, you're coming home. You're going to have the victory lane here. Checkered flag is out for you. Congratulations here tonight, Nathaniel.
Thank you, Sean.
Walk us through it, buddy. How did you do it? I know that you got P2 just a week ago from Zandvoort. You're going to show us all how it's done with a 2.9 second gap over the field here tonight.
Yeah, I was scared of Joseph coming back and really putting up a battle. He had super good pace and qualifying, and scared me a little bit. Not sure what happened to him in the race, but Andrew, man, he put up a huge fight. We weren't close necessarily because we were about a second behind, but I mean, don't let that distract you from we were definitely racing. I mean, he was with me that entire latter half of the race, so that was a ton of fun just kind of watching that, my relative, and me messing up a corner and seeing him kind of gain a lot on me. So it was fun. A little bit of a bait and switch because we practiced at like 133 degrees, and then we switched to a new server, and that threw me off. But it all worked out in the end, and man, it's a ton of fun racing with these guys, and it's always fun, and the chat is always hilarious. So I really appreciate being here, and it's always fun.
Well, Nathaniel, we appreciate you giving kind of that insight here. And matter of fact, it's so much fun out there on the track. So some of these races, this one included, man, I'm kind of sad that I've been trading in the microphone, or excuse me, traded the steering wheel in for the microphone up here in the booth. But I want to get on track out here, but got to keep bringing you, the fans, some really nice coverage of it. And Nathaniel, you bring it up, man, the racecraft and the speed between these two drivers. I know it's two completely different things, but it's something that a lot of these Apex Motor Club drivers have, both the racecraft and the speed to keep it up here. Nathaniel, you're going to keep it up here. Take the checkered flag here tonight. Real quick before we let you get going, who makes it all possible, man?
No, it's just Apex Club. I mean, they're awesome for hosting all these races, getting especially Warren for setting up the 3 extra sessions tonight. So thank you to all the Apex guys, and it's been great.
Nathaniel, thank you so much, man. Any last words that you'd like to say or get off here before we get to the second and third podium finishers, man?
No, I think that anybody could have won tonight. Everybody's got the pace here. It's just, I think people get a little unlucky. So, yeah, it's just been great.
Thank you so much, Nathaniel. Have a great rest of your night. Congrats once again on the race win.
Appreciate it, Sean.
Asshole.
Hey, I shouted you out.
I know.
It was all positive.
I guess we'll work our way down, but I know whose voice that was. We'll get to that in a few moments' time. Andrew Bound, how about it, buddy? You're going to cover with B2 here tonight.
Yeah, happy to be here. I think Nathaniel talking about the bait and switch was interesting. I was the last person to leave the original track that was like boiling hot temperatures. I didn't even realize we were switching over, so I think I got maybe 2 practice laps in before qualifying started.
Ooh.
So I mean, that's why I started a little bit towards the back, and I think I set the fastest lap, and I think at 143 flat. It just took me. I got faster and faster as the race went on, as I just got more comfortable with the temperature. But everything, it was interesting. It's always hilarious watching in the rearview camera, seeing everybody just absolutely get sent to the shadow realm. Yeah, those are good times. I wish there was a little bit closer battles, but it's still a good night overall. So I appreciate you guys putting this on.
Well, Andrew, we appreciate you taking some time to join us here and the podium finishers interview. And real quick, for possibly a driver who's not really maybe into motorsports or maybe just newer to the sim. I mean, there's so many things that iRacing just simulates to the T, but you talk about the track temps there. We had a couple sessions where, like you said, you were working with about 130 track temps. It was optimal conditions here tonight in this session, and how does that kind of change? I know you said that you didn't have the qualifying effort. You have to kind of regroup and regroup kind of mentally.
Oh, I mean, I think I dropped almost a second and a half. I think me and Nathaniel had 1 and 2 in the practice sessions at the hot track, and then I think he was 0.2 up from me, and then in qualifying here he was up over half a second. But after qualifying, my optimal last lap pace, I think I set like it was like 0.6 faster than that. But that was after doing 25 laps already, so it definitely makes a difference having optimal conditions.
Andrew, we appreciate you bringing the insight. I think you got one of the paint schemes of the race here tonight as well. Congrats on the podium finish here, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Alrighty, that being said, Joey Rainey, the man of the hour. He's going to take P3 away from Marvin Samoya on the last lap. Joey, you got yourself a copy, buddy.
Yeah, what's up, Sean?
Hey, man, welcome back here into the top 3 driver interview booth. What a battle there on the last lap. Walk us through it. What were you seeing out there on the windscreen, man?
Oh, man, I saw a whole lot of the side of Marvin's car in the last corner. And couldn't find a way around him to get a run to get past him, but luckily he played the team game and murdered Nico for me as we came down the straight.
I think I have found that replay of it here, and God, it's such close, tight battling here. There, we're gonna trade a little bit of paint there, and I think a little bit of snowball effect, but you barely. Oh, this is after the checkered flag. Sorry. Anyways, you barely missed it though, Joey. You're gonna bring it OMP3. What was it like? Not only even that last lap, but shoot, even the last 2, 3, 4 laps. It seems like all you guys just kind of threw it out the window and sending Hail Marys.
Yeah, it's really all you can do at the end of the race. The tires are toast, and it doesn't help that we're running, the field plow setup where the car just doesn't turn. It doesn't have any front end, so you just kind of hope for the best and try to stay in front of the guy behind you. I was getting pretty nervous there at the end with Nico behind me because I figured he probably had more pace than I did, but yeah, I got kind of lucky. But I'll take luck every single race.
Well, there you go, Joseph. Randy Holmes Racing. That excellent paint scheme is going to bring an OMP3 here tonight. Who we shouting out, man? Who makes it all possible for you?
I mean, obviously you as a starter, putting on these awesome streams and some really quality content. Before I started racing with everybody again, I was waiting for my to move into a place where I could set up my sim outside of my baby's room, and I watched every stream, and they're fantastic. So you're the first person to thank for putting all these on.
Yeah.
And obviously, Apex MX-5 grip is great. Raining Hills Racing is okay. And yeah, say that's all.
Well, Joseph, thank you so much, man. It honestly, it makes me tear up a little bit. You saying that here, man. It means the world to me. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your night here, man.
You too, Sean. We really appreciate it. Thanks.
Hey, we appreciate you, buddy. Real quick before we get going, we heard the voice earlier. Slater, Stone, Warren, you all got a copy. We got the old group voice chat going here.
We're here.
Hey,
We're
I
here.
just want to publicly apologize for my 50 sessions that I set up and only one was correct. So
That's
I
all
think
right.
we had a good time, I think, so it all worked out.
That happens more often than you think. Don't lose any sleep over it, Warren, because we even got it started right on cue as well, so that it all worked out, man.
Yeah, we didn't lose any time, so thank God for that. And just want to thank Nathaniel for the any words of encouragement. But thank you for putting on the streams as always, man. Yeah, you do an awesome job. Everything that Joey said was spot on. So really good job there, and we'll see you on Thursday night.
Hey, thank you so much. That's another. I've been saying this a lot lately, but that's how you put together some of the best schedules in Apex Motor Club Sim Racing and West Coast Sim Racing. We'll be at Charlotte Roval tonight for some multi-class racing. Join us there on SSN. Thank you, Warren Johnson, for joining us. Real quick, Slater and Stone, while I still got you, I got questions for both of you. I'll start with Stone real quick. Stone, I cut to the driver cam just about after every incident here tonight, and I mean, normally, dude, you see, especially me, I'm throwing my hands up in the air like, what the hell? No, man, you're laughing your ass off here tonight, having just the best time possible.
I mean, that's why we made this league. It's obviously it sucks to be in a battle and you spin out, or it happens early on. But early on, that's why we make the cautions, and then later on, if it happens, it happens. But this league is just. We just try to just have fun. There's, we're not keeping track of points or anything, and I keep my seriousness for Warren's league. But no, it was all fun and games. That whole time, that first spin out, that Joe, when he hit me coming out of the last corner, he was saying I didn't leave him any room, and then we watched the replay after the race, and we were all dying laughing because I left him probably like 2 car lengths, and he still just drove right into the side of me, but. It was funny, and then we ended up hitting each other again towards the end, and he just slingshotted towards me. As he was sliding out, I go, "Oh no, Joe," and then all of a sudden I'm hitting the wall. So it was all fun. My first lap was horrible. The tires were so slick. I was almost sliding out everywhere. I went from like 2nd to 6th or something. Yeah, I mean, it was, all in all, it was a really good race, but it was definitely, my wheel was snapping back and forth quite a bit with getting hit and hitting the walls and all that stuff, but it was a fun time. So I was laughing for sure.
Oh, well, we do hate it for the results here tonight, Stone, but at least you have fun while doing it. And, I mean, you were battling out there with Slater. Now to bring you into the interview here, I mean, well, first of all, Stone, thank you for bringing us that insight. We appreciate it for sticking around. And Slater, now to bring you into the convo here, you also had some really nice battling with Stone there until I guess things just got too good to be true, but Slater's going to bring it on P6 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, start of the race was honestly, even before everything, the track temp was way too high, so we had to make several servers. Shout out Warren for coming in clutch, making some servers. But yeah, I just want to apologize to everybody for the mishaps. We'll get it figured out. But anyways, the race was still fun to say the least. Everyone was banging into each other. There was a lot of carnage. I was kind of capitalized on it in the beginning, and then I kept getting real close to the wall coming out of one of the turns, and Joe was behind me, and I was like, uh-oh, and I was like, I'm either going to clip the wall or I'm going to just graze it, and I clipped it and spun out. And so had to work my way back up, but it was a fun race. Samuel drove great. We were banging on the last lap, and yeah, honestly, I can't complain. That's why I enjoy this league so much. Everyone's laughing and joking, even when people are spinning out and hitting walls and stuff. So, yeah, we'll go on to next week. And obviously, thank you for doing the streams. We all love going back and watching it. And all the guys at our office and friends and family love watching it. And yeah, and shout out to Warren for helping, and all the Apex guys for joining, all the new people for joining. We really appreciate it, and we'll just keep on growing.
Thank you so much, Slater, and thank you for everything that you do also behind the scenes for the league, both in the social media and just everything on league aspects. It really doesn't go unnoticed, and keep up the hard work, man. It's definitely paying off.
I appreciate it. I'm trying.
Alrighty, well, that looks like all the driver interviews here. Don't go anywhere, though. I'm not going to be race control or anything, but we're going to take a few replays at a few incidents that I may have not looked at earlier. We got 31 viewers right now still hanging out around, so once again, thank you all once again tonight joining in on Stam Studio Network, whether it was the vertical or the horizontal broadcast. Moonlight Dancer saying happy early birthday to Marvin Samoya once again. Terry, if you're still hanging out around, as well as Melina, Jordan Dopke, every single one of you hanging out in YouTube land. Stick around, though. We're not going anywhere. We're going to bring a few replays here, your time, in just a few moments' time. Thank you all, and I'll be right back with you in just a few seconds. Alrighty, welcome back here into Stam Studio Network. I'm just going to start from the top here. We saw at least a replay at that race start. We're going to start from the top and then just work our way down. Just in case this is, well, if you're just now joining us, this is Stam Studio Network, basically after dark. Production value falls to a T at this point, and we're just going to have fun with things. Here we're going to have the look at this race restarts here. We're going to file things. We're going to file them back to 2 and 3 wide up out front, but look at the 4 wide down there a little bit further back in the pack. That's Slater Colby, middle of it, so is Samuel Cruz. Remember earlier on, though, we were able to actually make this work through just about 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 turns until we did start to have a couple of incidents. A little bit of 0x's here and there, but no harm, no foul for the time being. Our first really incident for major contact was between Andrew Hurley and Victor Ling. Here's the contact between these two drivers. This was into the hard braking zone of turn 5, and this is when the snowball effect does start here. Looks like Andrew gets involved in it, as well as that was Victor Ling, also that the very neon inspired colors here. Once again, this is not race control replays by any means. I'm just wanting to show any replays that I did happen to miss within the race. Here's just a couple laps afterwards between that incident. Here is John Mellencamp, who goes a little wide here. He has to open up the next set of corners here. He's going to be on the outside. Warren Johnson starts to lose it a little bit, so John has to take it down, go for a play in the beach sand. No grip out there, and he's going to send it Mach 2 into Brandon Birch, I believe. Brandon Birch's front bumper there. We'll hop on board with John once again, as this is a replay we did see earlier on, but probably one of my favorite here tonight. Take a look at this one. Oh boy. Wide, tries to get on the gas. Nope. A little bit of a jump scare even. The next biggest incident that we had on track, this one was for Dominic Cicero, as this was the self-induced spin for the Boosies, number 25 machine. Yes, that is how you say it. I'm just kidding. It's not even a self-induced spin. He gets up on 2 tires there. We'll take another look at it. Nowhere to go for Cicero. There you see, things look okay. Then there's a spinning Slater. Colby has to go to that right side, and that's when you're going to see that whole left side of the Mazda MX-5 gets up in the air. He's going to wave it like he just doesn't care, keeping things moving and grooving. Next instance here out on track. Scrolling through here, it's going to be Rob Sweetster. That's red, white, and blue. Very vibrant and colored America. 25 there. There you see the brake lights flashing there. A little bit of a strobe show that's showing that looks like Rob just got a little bit too deep into the brake zone there. And this one's going to be an incident, possibly on Sam Studio Network, not top 10. Everything was okay until it wasn't there. He floored it there in reverse Mach 2 across the racetrack. Take a look at what he did. It was a-okay. Not even any damage, but boom! Jeez, not happy is the driver of that blue vehicle by machine. I believe that was, I think that was even Stone Colby incident. Darren Colby's incident earlier on in the race, we'll hop on board with here, see what happens for the number 16 Mazda MX-5. This driver was out there with Nico Colby, East Coast, doing some testing with, well, I think it was Nico Colby doing all the testing. Darren Colby's going to run just a little bit wide here, trying to hang it back around the left side. Runder, take a little bit of those 3D rumble strips. Oh, excuse me, that was, I'll try this one again, excuse me. That was Rob Sweetser. Here's Darren Colby's incident. He's got that Trevor Rainbow Mazda MX-5 up out there in front. Here we go, Darren Colby. He tries to... I don't know here, boys and girls. Let's take another look here. Red and black machine, about middle of your screen. Is that Darren Colby? I believe this is Kyle Klein here right behind him. Darren, he gets a little deep into the brake zone, has to try to make the crossover action happen to get back onto the race line, and I don't, just not quite clear for that machine. What else do we have here? That was just about it there for that front half of the race, and we caught just every other incidents there on the second half of the race. Here's one more Dominic Cicero and Richard Moore incident. Second half of the race here. This was the 3-wide battle. 25 Busies. Yes, I am saying, no, I'm just kidding. It's the Bucky's machine. He's going to have a little bit of contact there out of, I believe that was Darren or Slater Colby, the red and black Mazda MX-5. He puts on a smoke show. These drivers can't see where they're going out of that corner there. Finally does Dominic Cicero get that going right in the right way. That's going to about do it here tonight for Sam Studio Network. Nathaniel Redman is going to take the checkered flag here tonight. Mama, that driver was coming home with a head of steam. Nathaniel Redman take checkered flag. We'll take the checkered flag. Andrew Bound, Joey Rainey rounding out our top 3 spots. Thank you all once again joining in here tonight. Moonlight Dancer, bumper cars. Yes, that was quite a bit of bumper cars. Saying great job. Marvin as well, top 5. Same with Nico. Great racing from everybody. What a fun and entertaining race, says Terry, as well as the Fendi Racing driver. We got a fan of Samuel Cruz. Looks like that's going to about do it here. I'm going to catch my virtual flight home. Everybody have a virtual safe drive home here tonight. My name's been Sean Stam here tonight, Stam Studio Network. Catch us tomorrow night for some West Coast sim racing multi-class action from the Charlotte Roval. Everybody, seriously, drive home safe. take care of those friends and family members around you, and I'll go ahead and see you tomorrow night. Peace, everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you later.